How are you guys doing? This is Josie. It's been a minute since I've done a video, but I'm happy to be back. I've been busy creating a new record label and a new recording studio and getting ready to do some touring for the summer. So I'm super excited about that. And also, I'll be bringing some nice sound packs for you guys to download as well on the website and some other cool stuff. So definitely keep an eye out for us, prettyhybrid.club. My voice is a little bit off, so bear with me. I've been grinding a lot, and you guys know how that goes. So this video, I wanted to focus more on snapshots and scenes, right? But not how to actually create them in Maschine, because I think we all know how to do that. They're pretty ABC, but if we don't, we'll cover a little bit of it. More focusing on how do we sequence them in Logic and in Ableton so they can play for us. We don't particularly want to maybe sequence them in the Maschine software, but maybe we just want to sequence them in the software that we enjoy the most. So this is what this video will focus on the most. I have two controllers, the MK2, like I said, and the MK3. But what we'll do is anything that we do in the software will apply to both of the controllers. It's the same thing, just one software. The only thing is how we access them on the controller will be the only difference. So no fret. So be patient as I switch back and forth. If you're looking for a short video, this is probably not the video for you. I will create some pointers to how you can skip ahead, because I do it when I'm online. I want to get right to the point. Enough yap, which is what I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to be quiet. Let's get to work. So I have the MK3 here. I've created a couple of groups with different patterns on them. And I've created them in the ideas view in the software. Let me open the software for you guys. Cool, so that's the ideas view. You know, there's nothing in the arrangement view, as you can see here. It's all in the ideas view. Created a bunch of scenes with different patterns. Pattern A, I sampled Drake and God's Plan, and probably not a good idea where I went with it, but who cares? This is just for the video and for you guys to know what's up. The second one is drums. The third one is a bunch of effects that I've created. And the third one, I don't remember what it is, but it's there. So I'm going to play one of the scenes, which is the first scene on here. That's one scene. And I'll switch to the other scene as we go along. That's another scene. Switch to another one. And so on. Okay, so those are a few scenes. And now I have all these scenes there, and maybe I want to sequence them in Logic, right? That's one way to go. And then I have a couple of snapshots. So I'm going to create a couple of snapshots, right? Let's get to it. Snapshots, we know, is the lock button right here in the Maschine MK3. In the MK2, if we switch over, and I'll move my camera over, we'll see that the lock button is up here in the fourth button on top on the left. It'll say lock. You engage that lock. Okay. Now we want to go into the extended mode. We hit shift, extended mode, and you'll see that this screen changes, and we'll have the slots available to create snapshots. I'll move over to the MK3 here. We hit the lock button here, and to get into the extended mode, we also hold shift, okay, down here, and we'll hit extended lock, and it'll get us into extended lock, and we'll start to see the available slots for the snapshots. Now keep in mind, you have 4 banks, 16 slots for snapshots, totaling a total of 64 snapshots, which is pretty cool. So let's create a new snapshot here in the MK3. Okay, I'm going to play the sequence. And I'm going to choose pad number 1 for my first snapshot. I'm going to hit extended lock here to get out of it. Or I can just hit lock here and get out of it. Okay, I'm going to take the mute button here, and I'm just going to mute the drums. That sounds pretty cool, right? So I'm going to go back into shift, extended lock. Okay, and I'm gonna update that snapshot. and it will remember that. I'm gonna go over here and create a new one. Okay, I'm gonna get out of there again, hit the lock button. I'm out. Okay, I'm gonna bring that drum back in. Okay, I'm gonna go back into my shift lock, extended lock. I'm gonna update that one. Now I have two of them. I'll play them back and forth without the drums and with the drums. Okay, now it has a morphing feature here, and if you turn that morphing feature on, treble is not synced to the grid, which means, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 is not gonna sync to that grid. It's just gonna be more freestyle, you know, and it'll do it in a half a bar time. So let's do that. See, there we go. It kind of, you heard it come in. You can sync it to the grid, the target, and it'll go to the grid by eighths. Musical notes of quarter. Let's do a quarter and do two and okay. So play around with that. It's really what you like and stuff like that. So I'm gonna slide over to my MK3, and the MK3 is really the same deal. Okay. We'll choose right here a snapshot. Okay, we'll get out of the extended lock mode by hitting the button up here. Okay, we're back at this. I'm gonna take my mute button. I'm gonna mute my drums. Okay, and maybe I should turn on that one so you guys can hear that one, because I'm on the MK3 right now. Okay, so we turned off the drums there. Let's turn off that hi-hat as well. I think it's here. So we have no drums. Again, we'll go into shift, extended lock. We'll update that one. Okay, now let's create another one. On there. Let's get out of extended lock. Okay. And now let's bring the drums back in. Okay, cool. We'll go back into shift, extended lock. Let's update that one. Now let's go back and forth. No drums. Okay. That's pretty much it for creating snapshots. Now, what I'm going to show you how you actually sequence them once you create them into Ableton. So since I'm already on the MK3, right? Remember, it doesn't matter what controller you're using. The software, what we do in the software will be the same because we are using the same software. So what I've done here, the first thing we want to do here is we want to take a look at this here all the way at the top of it. If you follow me, we go here and we see this wheel. If we click on that wheel right there, it has two options. It has retrigger and it has MIDI change. Retrigger is every time it retriggers a scene, a snapshot, or an arrangement part. Where does it start? Retrigger means it will start from the beginning. So keep that in mind. You may not like that. It's up to you how you like to work. I like retrigger, but everyone has their own option. We all work different. So we go to MIDI change here. It's where we want to go. And this is where we wanted to tell it, hey, I'm going to send you a MIDI note, and I want you to change the scene or the snapshot on what MIDI channel do I want you to do that. Me, I just grabbed the last 4 channels for these 3 options here, 14, 15, and 16. You can grab whatever MIDI channels you prefer. I prefer the higher ones. I don't really use them that much. So for the scene, I decided to use MIDI channel 14. And I said, I want you to change that scene by a MIDI note, not a program change. You can do program change. You know, back in the days, they used to use the external synthesizers, and you will send it a program change, and it would change the sound that you were using on that MIDI channel. But we're going to use MIDI notes. You know, I mean, I think it's easier. And for the snapshots, I decided to use a MIDI note as well on MIDI channel 16. Now, this is how this works. The MIDI change or the MIDI channels will start working on the key of your keyboard, C -2. That is the first scene will respond to C -2 The next scene will respond to C-2 sharp. The next one will be D-2, and so on, okay? So keep that in mind. Write it down. They start at C-2, the notes, both for the scenes and both for the snapshots. They're just on different MIDI channels, okay? So let's close out of that. Once we've done that, we enabled it. That option will come up. You see, if I hit enable here, that option will come up. Okay, I don't want to do the arrangement. I just want to do the scene and the lock for this tutorial. So I'll close out of there. That looks pretty cool. Now the next thing we want to do in Ableton is we want to go down here. This is my MK3. I created a group just for this tutorial, but it's right here. That's the main guy. We worked already on there. Now we're going to do Snapshot first. Okay, because I created two so you guys can get an idea. Okay, so I told this MIDI clip right here, which I've already programmed some notes in there, some pre-programmed notes to make the tutorial a little faster. Okay, and I want you guys to take a note of where I started, C-2. You see, C sharp -2 is my scene 1, and I wanted to go to my, scene 2. I wanted to go to my scene 1, back to my scene 2, and so on. So these notes are very important. Okay. We'll go down and we'll take a look at snapshots up here. And I told it, okay, that MIDI clip right there that we just saw, I want the MIDI of that MIDI clip to go to my MK3 plugin right here. Okay. And I want you to be on MIDI channel 16. Why? Because on MIDI channel 16, remember, here, we told it, hey, I want you to change on MIDI channel 16 the snapshots, you see, by the notes I give you. That's the only thing you have to do. Tell it, hey, MIDI track here, because this is a MIDI track, keep in mind, I want you to go to the MK3 on MIDI channel 16. So let's try it out. Okay, I'll let you guys see it. In the controller, you'll notice that I am in snapshot mode, and you guys are going to see those change. And in the software, I'll let you guys see the clip. Okay. Oops. I just added a bunch of notes that correspond to the snapshot. So I'll play that for you so you guys can see it. Let me make sure I'm on here for 1 second. Yep, I am. Fantastic. Let's get back up there and let's do it. Let's have a listen. See, it started on 2. And that effect you're hearing as well was also programmed in the snapshots. So that's basically all you do. That is pretty much how you program your snapshots to play via MIDI notes. Pretty cool. Okay. While we're here, I'm going to grab this right here and I'm going to turn off the snapshots, right? And I'm just going to go into scenes. And I'm going to do the same thing. The scenes, I told it was going to be on MIDI channel 14, remember? We went on here. We told it that it was going to be on MIDI channel 14. So the scenes will change on MIDI channel 14 with whatever MIDI note we program it to. Remember, C-2. Remember, that's going to bite you in the butt if you don't remember that. Okay. So now we'll go into the scenes mode. And again, here we're going to turn this one off. We'll turn this one on. MIDI to the MK3. This MIDI clip will send the information to this MK3 on MIDI channel 14. On my controller, I'm going to go into the scene view so you guys can see the scenes. And I'm going to open up this clip here. Sorry, I'm going to open up the clip so you guys can see the notes there and how they changed. Let's fold them up so you guys can see it better. Cool. Here we go. And I'll play that for you and you guys will see how those MIDI notes are changing the scenes. So that's basically all you do. Just keep in mind that's the setup. A quick recap. The MK2, by the way, is the same deal. Nothing has changed in the MK2. We do the same thing in the MK2. Okay, same setup. I have the MK2 here. Okay, my controller, for you guys can see it there. We'll do here the snapshots first. Snapshots, I told it, hey, you're going to go to my MK2 here, and you'll be on Midi channel 16. Okay, and how do we know that? MK2, we already know the drill. Open that up. Open that up. Okay, the wheel again. We take a look at the wheel, Midi change, and Midi channel 16. Keep it consistent. You know, if you keep the Midi channels consistent every time you work on it, you'll be good. So I'll open this up so you guys can see the Midi clip. I am in my snapshot view here in the MK3. Let's have a listen. Cool, and we'll do the same for the scenes. And I won't go back into it. You guys pretty much know at this point that this is on Midi channel 14. As you can see there, going to the MK2. I'll play that for you guys. I'll put it in the scene views in the MK2. I'll let you see the notes on here. Actually, it'll be easier for you guys to see that. Cool. So that's pretty much how you do it. I'll do one for Logic at some point. But for now, we did Ableton. And feel free to write comments and any questions you may have. I'll be happy to help you. Quick recap. Remember, the first thing that we must do is go into our plugin. Okay, quick recap. Choose the wheel. Assign the Midi channels that we want. And you can do that by arrangement as well too. 14 and 16 I've chosen. I'm going to keep them consistent for myself. Okay, once we've done that, the next thing we want to do is create 2 Midi tracks and assign them correspondingly. The top, send this Midi information to the MK3, and the Midi channel, either the scenes or the snapshots. Same deal for the MK2 plugin if you have 2 controllers or 1 or whatever the case might be, same deal. On the machine, keep in mind to create snapshots, you hit the lock button here on the MK3. Okay, and then you hit shift lock. It'll take you into the extended one, and then you have 4 banks to choose from, and you can create 16 per bank. On the MK2, okay, we'll move a little bit over here. My microphone should reach. You hit the lock button. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of scene. Let's get out of that. You hit the lock button up here. Boom. And then you hit shift and lock, and it'll get you into the extended, and you can create your scenes. Okay. And it's pretty self-explanatory. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Please check me out on prettyhybrid.club. I will be adding some cool sound packs on there, and I will be creating more videos more consistently. Next month, I'll drop one for the Logic with this snapshot situation going on as well. And it's what would be helpful is if you guys tell me what kind of videos you guys would like. I would be more than happy to try to create those for you guys. Till then, keep it cool, keep doing music. You know what time it is. Ciao.